Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shifra if you are new here. Today I am going to be doing a little get ready with me, but I thought I would give some advice for new freshers because it's September. As I said in my last video, this is the first time that I haven't gone back to school or back to uni. I'm out in the big bad world. And I thought it would be useful as a recent graduate to maybe put together some advice, hints and tips for new freshers. I know that this year for freshers is going to be very different to previous years and we're living in unprecedented times. So I thought it would be very useful just to put a few hints and tips from someone who's kind of just finished that part of their life, and I'm going to get ready at the same time. Not going anywhere, so I'm just going to do some very simple, everyday, stay-at-home makeup. I'm gonna light a candle, actually. This is from a brand called Scandinavisk, and it's called Fjord, and it smells unreal. Have a smell? Unreal. There we go. Oh, just nothing quite like it, is there? So first things first, I've already washed my face and I'm actually quite happy with my skin at the moment. I do have two remnants of spots here, but my forehead has really cleared up. So maybe in the next few weeks, I might do a skincare video. I have struggled with my skin for a long time, so I'm feeling pretty good about it at the moment. So I've already washed it. I'm going to put some moisturizer on. I use the Pharmacy Honey Drop, and I actually mix in, this was a present from my friend Chloe for my birthday. It's the Drunk Elephant Debronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops, and it's to fortify and bronze, and I have been loving this. So you basically put a drop on into your moisturizer, and then you put it on your face, and it's basically like tinted moisturizer, but it gives you such a nice glow. And I really like that it's anti-pollution, especially living in London. My skin always breaks out, and I actually think one of the reasons behind it is the pollution. So maybe this is one of the reasons why my skin has been doing quite well at the moment. So I've just mixed that, and then I just put this on my skin. Try and avoid your eyelashes. Yeah, so as you guys, I'm not sure if you guys know, but I actually went to Warwick and I studied international management, and I graduated from Warwick in July, and I absolutely loved Warwick. I've said this probably before in my videos, but Warwick was the perfect university for me, and I think that's really important as a fresher to try and remember kind of why you chose that uni, why it was your first choice. And everyone's university experience is going to be so different, so don't try and compare the experience that you're having with the experience that your friends are having, because it takes everyone different times to settle in, different amount of times to meet friends, different amount of times to understand their course. So don't try and compare yourself with your friends, because everyone's on their own path and everyone's going to have a happy time at uni, but maybe at different points. So the first thing I'm going to be putting on is the Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer. In terms of advice for freshers, I think it's extremely important now that incoming freshers don't try and focus on how different this year is going to be, and especially with social distancing and probably clubs not being open, and we don't know if bars are going to stay open, but instead making the most of the experience that you can have and making the most of spending time with your flatmates and getting to know them. I think that's the most important. Don't kind of get stuck on what you can't do, but rather make the most of what you can do. And I know it sounds very easy for me to say that, but you'll honestly have such a better time if you really do just throw yourself into what you are allowed to do, and maybe that's joining a sports club or spending more time staying in with your flatmates, and that will help you bond with them even more. So I think top tip number one is just focus on settling in within the parameters of what you're allowed to do currently. I am then going to go in with the Vatcal Brightening Face Primer. So I don't actually put this all over my face. I use this almost as a mini blusher slash highlighter. My second advice for freshers is on the day that you're moving in, to try and go to the kitchen as quickly as you can if you're in self-catered accommodation, because I remember on my first day, I got there a bit late, and because my brother had been to uni previously, my mum knew kind of how quickly cabinets in the kitchen get taken up. So my mum said, oh, we need to go to the kitchen first. So we went into the kitchen and I managed to get 2 cupboards, and they were right next to each other, and they were really big cupboards. Whereas people who came later were stuck with kind of smaller cupboards or cupboards that were under the sink. Especially if you're quite small, you don't want to end up having quite a tall cupboard that you can't really use all of it, or you have to stand on a chair. So for me, I focused on getting a cupboard first. And I know this is something that people wouldn't normally think about doing, but I remember I would never have thought about that if my mum hadn't said it. And I honestly was so thankful, because it meant that I never had to stand on a chair or anything to get into my cupboards. So now that all my primer is done, I'm just gonna take my Glossier Mint Balm.com and I'm just gonna put this on. This is an amazing lip balm. I use this religiously. So now I'm going to use the Tarte Busy Gal Brows to do my eyebrows. Some more advice that I have for people who are joining this year is to try and make friends with people on your course. So I was fortunate enough to do a year abroad, and it was actually compulsory as part of my degree to do a year abroad. So when I came back in 4th year, most of my friends were my course friends. So I think it's really important, if you are interested in doing a year abroad, or if you have a placement year, or maybe even an integrated master's, so you stay for a 4th year, it's super important that you have friends on your course, because then it means that you don't need to worry about coming back and not really knowing that many people. But also the benefit of having course friends is it means that you can stay on track with your work so much easier, because if you're surrounded by people who are all doing the same course, you kind of know what you need to be doing, or you can ask each other for help. It's also quite useful if you're doing group work and you need to form your groups yourself. It means that you know people and you can join in a group with them, because I didn't really make that many course friends in my 1st year, and then it was in my 2nd year that I put a lot more effort into people that I was in seminars with and lectures in, because I knew we were all going on a year abroad together, so I wanted to know them for when I came back. I'm now going to use this Chanel, it's a blush N21. My hands are so slippy. Okay, there we go. It's from all that moisturizer and primer. So I actually love this. My friend's mum actually gave this to me, and it's such a pretty color, and you can use it on your lips or on your cheeks. It's very versatile. So I just do it a little. It's very pink, so you just need a little bit. And then I just use my fingers. I'm trying to use my fingers more when I'm doing makeup, just because when you do have acne prone skin and your skin is pretty sensitive, I think using brushes that kind of build up bacteria isn't the best, unless you're really organized and you wash your brushes a lot. But I am not that organized with those things. So I'm trying to use my hands as much as possible. And of course, always try and put some blush on your nose, because it gives you that really cute little glow. In terms of when you're actually at uni and you're a bit more settled in, I'm sure that there will be some kind of societies fair or sports fair. Maybe this year it's going to be online, a digital version, but definitely get yourself down there, because if you don't get along with your flatmates, or you find it hard to find course mates, joining a club or a society is the best way to make friends. I decided to join lacrosse when I was at Warwick, and I had never played lacrosse before, and the main reason I joined was because I went skiing with a few girls and they all played lacrosse, and they were telling me how much they loved it, and I met so many new people from doing lacrosse, and I would never have thought about doing it, but I met so many of my friends that are now lifelong friends from playing lacrosse. Also, when I was there, I joined the Fashion and Art Society, which in Warwick was called Line. And honestly, being part of that society, it really, I don't want to be that girl, but I mean, it really changed my university experience. I joined in Freshers, and I was a member of the society and actually on the exec every year. And in my final year, in my 4th year, I was president. When I came back from my year abroad, I didn't really know that many people, so it was so great to be part of Line, and we really created such an amazing team. And yeah, it was just amazing to be surrounded by people who had similar views and similar opinions about fashion and art, and we just really bounced off each other. If you're going to Warwick, 100% check out Line. Every year they do a fashion show. Last year we did one which was a completely sustainable fashion show, so it was completely sustainable from everything we did throughout it. We made sure it was sustainable. So we used recycled wine glasses that we picked up at the end and brought to the recycling point. We had all digital tickets. We didn't buy any clothes. All the clothes were from charity shops or were from eBay or were the exec's own. And we managed to raise £1,000 for charity for UNICEF. I'm actually so sad that I'm not going to be there this year. The team is so cool, so fun. So definitely, even if you're not going to Warwick, check them out. They have a really, really cool Instagram. You don't have to just look at the clubs and societies that are part of the student union. Like Line, for example, the Fashion and Art Society at Warwick isn't part of the student union. So go on Instagram, go on Facebook, and just type in different societies that you might be interested in, because there are so many societies and they're not necessarily part of the union. Now I'm just going to put some bronzer on. My trusty Hoola. Look how dusty it is. I need to clean it. This I have to put on with a brush. Apart from that, I think the most important thing for joining university, and my advice for freshers, is just be yourself. I know it's so easy to say, but just be yourself. Everyone is in the same position. Everyone is coming on their own. They don't know many people. So just put yourself out there. And I think especially in the beginning, everyone is so excited to meet new people and everyone is in the same boat. So I think making the effort from the beginning to go out and speak to as many people as you can, join lots of societies. You don't need to stay part of them if you don't like them, but they all put on taster sessions which you can join. Try and go to all the kind of course events just so that you can meet as many people as you can, because friendship groups do form, and like in all scenarios, then it can become harder to make friends. So I think just putting yourself out there in the beginning and just being yourself, and you're definitely going to find your group if you do that. I'm just going to do my eyelashes. I'm not going to heat them up like I normally do, just because I'm at home today, so I don't really can't be bothered to go to that effort. But with Warwick in particular, Warwick this year, because it's a campus uni, I think it will actually be quite nice, because even though you can't socialise with as many people and it's not going to be as kind of freeing as previous years, because you're on a campus, you'll still get the vibe, you'll still be walking around and seeing lots of students. And I think that's the great thing with going to a campus uni rather than a city, is you're surrounded by people who are studying at your university. So you really feel like you're in a college and you're at uni. I'm actually so sad that my hand is so slippy. Okay, I'm back and it's open. I think it really has dawned on me now that my time at university is over, because it's September. This would normally be when I would be getting ready to go and packing up my things, and I've been seeing lots of people doing kind of their moving out vlogs or moving into uni, and yeah, I can't believe those 4 years are over. I mean, I am very excited for the future and what's coming and starting my career. I'm super pumped for that, but I think I am slightly melancholy about uni being over. I really don't believe it is over, just because it ended quite abruptly in March. We never got to graduate. I think that really shows you that as a fresher, or whatever year you are at uni, now is the time to really remember, I need to make the most of this because we don't know kind of how long this is going to last, or not to make it sound too dramatic, but we would never have thought we were never going to graduate. So just make the most of it as you can, and I think it just is the perfect time to, if you want to reinvent what have I done? Talking too much. I've got mascara all over my face. Oh, that came off so easily. I actually don't even know what I was saying. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, just make the most of it. And if you are going to Warwick and you want some advice or have any questions, honestly, just write a comment. I'm so happy to give advice on Warwick. I think anyone going there will have a wonderful time. I think I'm ready. I'm feeling very hydrated. The mixture of the my moisturizer and then the hydrating primer. This is my finished look. If you guys have any questions or you want to know anything else about joining university, please feel free to message me. You can message me on Instagram or just write in the comments. But I hope you have a wonderful time and just make the most of it. And honestly, you are going in an unprecedented time, but it's in times like this where people are really challenged and people really thrive and become the people they want to be. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was just a very simple get ready with me. This is my everyday makeup, and I hope you have found some of the advice helpful. Bye, see you in my next video.